للحديث أكثر ينضم إلينا من كراتشي بلوال بوتو زرداري وزير الخارجية الباكستاني السابق. أرحب بك معنا على شاشة الغد، وأبدأ بالإعلان عن هذا الاجتماع الثلاثي، بدء هذه المحادثات إيرانية أمريكية باكستانية. ما هو دور باكستان اليوم في هذه المفاوضات؟ ما طبيعته وما حدوده أيضا؟
Thank you so much for having me. I think that the entire world has breathed a sigh of relief that the ceasefire has taken place and both sides have arrived in Islamabad to commence talks. I'm very grateful to the leadership of Saudi Arabia, China, Turkey, Egypt, other countries within this GCC, and everybody involved in creating the diplomatic space necessary that allowed for this ceasefire to be announced and for us to have all the parties here in Islamabad. Pakistan is playing the role as a host, as a facilitator to these negotiations. The real conversations need to happen between the two conflicting parties, and I'm sure Pakistan will be playing whatever role it can in facilitating this.
الخلافات وأزمة الثقة ما بين الطرفين، باعتقادك باكستان في هذه المرحلة قادرة على تقديم ضمانات لهم؟
I think that absolutely, as with any negotiations, as is always the case with diplomacy in any context, there are always challenges. Whenever two sides meet for a negotiation, they always have to try and address those challenges and reach a middle ground. I think what is the most significant fact is that we have managed to get to this point after 6 weeks of war, which we experienced in the devastating costs in the form of the cost to human life, as well as the economic shocks and costs across the world. We finally have the parties negotiating amongst themselves a ceasefire in place, and that in itself is a big achievement. Now, of course, the challenge ahead, and they are challenges, is to achieve a more permanent peace.
طيب، دور إسلام آباد كما تفضلت سيد بلوال هنا، كيف تنوي إسلام آباد إقناع الطرفين على تقديم تنازلات وبالتالي حتى التوصل إلى اتفاق دائم؟
I think that the role of Islamabad is that of a host, of a facilitator. As far as reaching compromises, both parties, even before arriving, has at least shared their views. The US has got a 15-point plan, and then Iran put out their 10 points, which the President of the United States subsequently endorsed as a good start for negotiations. So those are all positive signs. Obviously, the devil is in the detail, and that is for all those who are in Islamabad at the moment to try and work out and achieve a compromise, because as we've all experienced, war is not an option. The only option is dialogue and diplomacy in the pursuit of peace. We've experienced the consequences of war. We've seen, whether it's in Iran, whether it's in Afghanistan, whether it's in Iraq or anywhere else, war is never the solution. At the end of the day, the solution lies at the negotiating table.
أفهم منك سيد بلوال بأن دور باكستان ينحصر في دور البلد المضيف وليست لاعب أساسي أو ضامن في هذه المرحلة. لو أنتقل بك لقراءة دبلوماسيا في تصريحات القيادات الباكستانية حتى الآن، رئيس الوزراء هو أشاد بالتزام الوفدين بالانخراط في هذه المفاوضات، وقبله سبقته تصريح لوزير الخارجية الحالي إسحاق دار وهو يقول بأنه يأمل مشاركة الطرفين بشكل بناء في هذه المحادثات. لو نقف عند مفرد يأمل هنا كتعبير، كيف يترجم دبلوماسيا؟ هل يوحي نوعا ما بضعف فرص نجاح هذه المفاوضات؟
I don't think that's the case at all. I think one is underestimating the huge achievements that have taken place already. And given those huge achievements, there's no reason to doubt the current negotiations or second guess the current negotiations. It is a huge achievement that the two warring parties have agreed to a ceasefire. It is a huge achievement that in Iran today, bombing is not taking place, neither by Israel nor by the United States. Similarly, across the Middle East, attacks are not taking place. And that in itself is a huge achievement. The Strait of Hormuz is finally functioning. The challenges that the world economies, the world over, the people of Egypt were feeling the pinch of this war. There's just as much as the people of Pakistan or the people anywhere else. They were paying the price of this war at the petrol station, in their grocery bills, and in the form of inflation. So I think while obviously, given the past history of negotiations, one is always skeptical. Given the huge trust deficits, one can understand your skepticism, but we can't take away from the fact that just in simply achieving this 2-week-long ceasefire, moments before the threat to annihilate an entire civilization was supposed to be carried out, in and of itself is this huge achievement. Now, of course, we have to hope for the best while these negotiations are taking place, but it's a significant sign that both high-powered delegations are present in Islamabad. That means things are moving forward.
هل لديكم أي طرح لسيناريوهات تتوقعونها لهذه المرحلة أو كمخرجات لهذه الجولة من المفاوضات؟
I think that at the moment they've started their negotiations, and I think it's best for you and I now to leave it up to them. At the very least, we've got the ceasefire for 2 weeks. What we'd like to achieve is a more permanent solution so that we don't have to keep re-experiencing this crisis, and that's the challenge mainly before the teams from Iran and the United States.
طيب، الكل ينظر كما سبق وتفضلت إلى دور باكستان في هذه المرحلة، وباكستان معروفة يعني بجودة علاقاتها مع كل الأطراف حتى الآن يعني، وهو الشيء الذي دفعها إلى الوساطة، إلى دور لعب البلد المضيف والوسيط يعني في مرحلة قبل هذه حسب ما تفضلت به. لكن على الأرض ما تزال هناك تحركات عسكرية، ما زال هناك حشد جاري يعني بالمنطقة. في حال انزلقت الأمور ونقول فشلت هذه المفاوضات يعني، مع العلم أنه في إطار الحشد باكستان أيضا قامت أرسلت قوة عسكرية إلى قاعدة سعودية بالسعودية في إطار الاتفاقية المشتركة ما بين البلدين. في حال انزلاق الأمور باكستان ستقف مع أي جهة سيد بلوال؟
Pakistan's, I'm not aware of any specific movements vis-a-vis Saudi Arabia, but I am aware that Saudi Arabia and Pakistan do have a sovereign defense security pact amongst our two countries, in which there is language to the effect that an attack on any one of us will be seen as an attack on the other. So in that context, Pakistan is committed to the security of Saudi Arabia and the security of Islam's two holiest sites. Obviously, at the moment, we're not planning for those contingent scenarios. All our hopes, I think that there's only one plan, and the plan is to achieve successful negotiations so we don't have to witness that nightmare scenario either in the form of a military conflict or in the form of a global economic recession and depression to the scale that none of us has ever experienced, at least not in my lifetime.
شكرا جزيلا بلوال بوتو زرداري وزير خارجية الباكستانية السابق، كنت معنا من كراتشي.